Welcome to the No Bull Political Arena. With your hosts, Sophia Nelson, Bill O'Reilly, Brian Mistro, and TJ McCormick. It's real voices, raw politics, and no bullshit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Arena. Bill, Lauren, thanks for joining us today. We're going to have some fun with today's Thursday Thoughts. So, for those that don't know, every Thursday we find I call it a nonpartisan type of issue. These aren't partisan discussions. I mean, we may dive and talk some politics, but not in not in our usual way, what we do Monday through Wednesday. Instead, we take a subject and we deep dive it, and bounce it around, and just try to do something that's fun, especially for people that don't want to hear a lot of the bickering back and forth. That's not what this is about at all. So
Yes.
again, thanks for joining, Bill and Lauren. We're going to have some fun with this one today. This is a subject that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is under 30 Americans who have moved over and want and are interested in socialism. So let me just give you a stat. I'm going to read it here for those that can't see it. I've got a slide up. Here's the current statistic. It says, quote, support for socialism has surged among younger Americans, with recent polls indicating that a majority of college students and up to 62% of young adults aged 18 to 29 hold favorable views of the ideology. For this demographic, socialism is frequently favored over capitalism as an economic framework. Whoa,
Terrifying.
62%.
That's the worst number I've seen. And Brian, some of the earliest polling on this was started by the Buckley Institute at Yale. I'm on the board of that, gratefully. And so I was used to bad numbers. That's the worst I've heard, but it's been crawling, and we were doing college too. We do college students, so it could be general population, so non-college. But I think the college would actually be higher. It's a ridiculous number.
It is.
It's an embarrassing number for everybody, even the non-socialists. That how do we let this happen? I mean, it is a ridiculous number. Lauren, what say you?
I feel like responsible, I'm like, but I'm so not responsible. But yeah,
you're in the 38%. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just turned 31, I should say. So I technically don't fall in that category, but I see it, and it's real, it's scary, and it's like, yeah, it's just embarrassing. I mean, I think it's kind of the fault of both. Like, it's just like a kind of, people see a failed political system and they just are like, maybe we'll try this out. They don't, but it makes me wonder what they're teaching them. College, these are college educating kids. I'm like, what are they taking that, like, we learned about the failures of socialism in high school. I did, at least, in my civics classes, my world history.
You read history. You read history.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I had to. So I'm like, what, did they not? Are they not expressing it as much? I honestly have no idea, but it's shocking.
Well, Brian, go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
No. Because I'd like to hear your comment. Then I'm going to start explaining why I think this is happening. But
yeah, that's what my kind of take is, that this doesn't happen. Like, you're saying, why is socialism coming back? It's because there's still Marxists out there. Like, those are the people on the right, the communications people, are fighting with all the time, year in and year out. And I mean, these kids didn't suddenly discover Das Kapital or the Communist Manifesto. I mean, they don't read the newspaper. They're not reading a book from 1848. It's just not happening. This stuff is getting driven by leftists in universities, by leftists outside of universities. It's but there's a lot of factors here. I mean, they're driving it. And people are looking for an alternative because things are a little bit rocky, but I think there's another element to this, that's a social element, and I'm just going to throw it out there before you go, and that when you join the left and you join the socialists in like that kind of world, you get a whole new identity. You get a new version of history. You get a new outlook on everything, that you're not guilty for anything because you see it. and everybody else is guilty of all the excesses and inequalities in the world, you're on the side of right, mighty. You feel good. You wake up every morning and
Mm,
you can go, God, these bastards are screwing up everything.
And
As
they're
you
super
go into
activist. They're
super
like
activist, right?
hype each other up.
As you're
Yeah.
eating your eggs and your eggs from Florida, your bananas from South America, pineapples from Hawaii, all
mm-hmm,
courtesy of capitalism, the capitalism system. And it's like but the worst part of this, Brian, is the academics. They
mm,
they lost in the 60s and the 70s. The radicals lost after doing thousands of bombings around this country. All the liberation groups, all the groups, they lost and they went into academia. That's what happened.
mm,
And they got a hold of our kids and they've indoctrinated them.
mm.
Who are suddenly, it's always cool to be something else when you're young. You know what I mean? When I was
Right.
16 years old, I decided I was a lefty too. And I had long hair and I was like, Karl Marx, cool, and all that stuff like that. And that lasted about 6 months. And I'm like, what are you kidding me? But it lets you put the uniform on of the rebel. And the rebel is always very attractive to young people.
Yeah. It's
What say
um,
you?
well, I'm going to go out with a different little. First of all, I don't agree with it at all. I will be completely clear. So anybody that's watching this and the stuff that I'm going to show you, don't say Brian is a damn socialist and he's trying to make us socialists. Okay? No, I
Brian,
don't agree with
you're
it.
sitting in a boat. You're in a boat. You're in a yacht.
I'm
Yeah,
sitting
hold
in a
up.
boat, the USS
Although there's
Minnow.
a lot of millionaire Marxists out there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't agree with it, but I do have a theory for why this is happening, and I don't have a fix for it. So I'm going to share the next slide. And by the way, audience, for those that are watching, I did something that a lot of times we don't do, but I took these slides and I intentionally did not share them with anybody. I wanted to do a lot of research and background homework because I wanted to get Bill's and Lauren's face when I show them some of this stuff. So let me just start
I'll give
with
it to you now.
kind of a smaller one. All
I know I'm
right.
not happy.
The National Association of Realtors, everybody has heard of that, and I would consider them for sure the leading expert in this area. National Association of Realtors reported the median age of new home buyers reached an all-time high of 40 years old. This is up
Wow.
this is up from age 29 in the 1980s. Um,
Yeah, I did know about this one, I will say. I was talking to my
Well,
parents. Um,
I,
Shocking. Yeah, I'll let you guys go.
no, no, it's this is you.
shocking. But shocking and worse than that because people aren't pairing up. They're not dating anymore. They're not having children. They're not doing all kinds of
Mhm.
things. It's a different approach to life that's going on.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but that house number is just I mean, there's a number of reasons for that, but one of the reasons is you got to pay for all these socialist professors, student debt, like your debt, Lauren. I'm sure you're in medical school. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I love
Um,
yeah.
and it's like, and the money that you would put into a mortgage at age 29 or 31 or 34, like in the old days, is going to pay for these colleges that are ridiculously expensive,
Yeah, they are.
that have restaurant quality, dining halls and lecture halls and
Yeah.
movie things and that. And it's like we wanted an education, not a mortgage. And that you're handing kids a mortgage for life, and they can just do one of those when you're 35 years old or 34 or
Mm,
32.
Yeah, no, it's scary. And yeah, no, I mean, I'll just say like one of the best not to get too personal, my ex-boyfriend, he was great, but he was like very uh not like he just wanted, stay-at-home mom. He loved the idea. He had a stay-at-home mom. And I was like, Brian, like you can't like live on one income anymore. And I feel like that's maybe one of the biggest like
Yep.
differences that I look at with my parents
100%.
versus me is like it's seriously not possible. Like I don't know a single person. I mean, unless you like are an entrepreneur and you hit something big on Shark Tank or something, you're like doing extremely well. All my friends that are like, thinking about getting pregnant, they're not going to not work. I mean, it's not an option. So I
Right.
feel like that's true no matter where you live in the United States. So, I mean, it's like I don't really know how this happened or how we got here, but I think it's really like scary. I don't think it's good for like Bill, you said the family life. Like I don't really know why people aren't settling down early. I think it's because they're just trying to figure their life out, their careers and stuff. And The college thing, they don't always get a job, I guess, now immediately these days. And so I don't know, but the housing, it's just shocking. Like that's a shocking number.
That
I also
is.
That's
think
a
the
shocking.
Democrat policies don't help. It's like, are we gonna, I think there's so many like regulations in some of these blue states. It's a problem, but it's a problem nationwide, even the states that don't have that. But the zoning and stuff is just ridiculous. I've tried to
It's
read
even
into it.
come.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it's even coming down to kids aren't getting driver's licenses. They're not. It used to
Mm.
be half or 80%, or some huge number got driver's licenses at 16 in a day, and
mhm.
now that's down to like 12%. I'm
Why
not giving the right numbers, but it's
why is that
absolutely
happening?
collapsed. It's a delay. It's a grown up delay. I think it's the world is too scary and too unapproachable, and I don't know what it is, but it's a real factor. It's not in one state. It's all across the country.
And I'm gonna back you up on that. Neither one of my kids wanted to get their driver's license, and so my oldest, okay, in high school, he was finally 18. Hey Dad, will you drive me here? Hey Dad, will you drive me there? And the way that we got him to go get his driver's license is I said, no, you can go get
No.
an Uber. I'm tired of hauling your ass around everywhere. Okay, no, you're gonna go get a car, or you're gonna get your driver's license. You're gonna get an Uber. It's mom and I. Mom and I are done. Okay, my youngest wasn't quite as bad, but I think that he put it off until he was 17, maybe close to 18. So, yeah, I can tell
That's
you
actually
from
really
experience.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
would.
tied to money. That's like really a cultural thing. That's really crazy.
It's a
Well,
cultural thing, and a lot of it's also plays into the boy factor a lot, and the
mm,
because like that side's collapse more. They're just like they're not sure what the outlook is, and they're not sure what to do, how
hmm
to act, who to be.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
well,
it's
well,
sad.
I don't know about you, Bill, but I got my driver's license at 15. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of the house. Right? I
Oh,
mean,
same.
You
it,
want to
it
you want to hear when I got mine? Go ahead, you guys guess. Go ahead, throw it out there. I'll throw it
Oh
out there.
gosh,
Take a guess.
uh,
20
43,
or something.
huh?
43, 43. I lived in the
No,
city.
Oh,
I
because
was
you
in New
lived in
York.
the city.
43 years old. I got it the day
Oh
43
before
your
my
I went
whole
to
life?
work. Yeah.
gosh.
Wow,
I,
that's
I could tell you
crazy.
I could tell you every bus, plane, and train schedule in America. I'm telling you.
Bill, you're so cool. That's such
No, it
an
wasn't cool. It's pretty
interesting.
lame, but it's actually common. It's common in New York. It's common.
Yeah,
No,
well, we've got a dear mutual friend that she still doesn't have. She's our age, Bill, and she still doesn't have her driver's license, and she's never going to get it. You know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about too. So,
I don't remember
y-
who. Oh, yes, I do. Of course, I
yes, you
do. I
do.
do.
Yeah, yes, you
Yep,
do.
I do.
All right, so let's look at another little statistic here. I'm going to read out, and I'm playing into something because I'm going to make the case that the reason that they're moving towards socialism is an economic reason. They don't think this is working for them. Their democracy, or I'm sorry, the capitalism market is not working for them. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm going to lay down the case here. So I'm going to read these two slides to you, and then let's chat about it. Market data indicates a district generational divide, with workers over the age of 30 overwhelmingly maintain a stable employment, essentially locking young people out of newly available corporate jobs. That's true, by the way. I do know that. The Economic Policy Institute notes that the primary driver behind the under 30 struggle is a severe slump in overall hiring rates rather than job losses. Um, they can't get a job. And it's worse than that. And I did put the slide in here. But the unemployment right for right now, if you are 25 or under, is 10%. The unemployment rate, depending upon what you look at it. So there's two types of unemployment rates. So there's one type of unemployment rate is I think that's the U3, and that just says you got a job or you don't got a job. So if you don't have a job, you're unemployed. If you've been out of the job market for over 6 months because you couldn't get a job, you fall out of that one. The next type of number that the government puts out is what's called the U6 number. Again, this is what I used to do for a living. So, in the U6 number, the actual unemployment, which would include people that have had to drop out, people that take a part time job because that's all they can get. If you're under 25, I believe it's running around 17% or 18%. So, if you're working at Taco Bell and you've got your college degree, or even if you're just fresh out of high school and you can't get out of there, you're not going to get a house. You probably can't afford a car. You're not going to pay rent anywhere. Um, Bill, do you think this is a part of the problem?
Maybe I just wonder what all those shining examples of successful socialism are out there in the world.
Yeah. Oh
It's
no. Yeah.
never ever worked. We
It's
can go
nothing.
nation by nation by nation. It always turns into disaster and despair and executions and the rest of it. It just lighter socialism in Europe just turns into bankruptcy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
look. You know what I mean? They have no the manufacturing's dying. Socialism gets rid of nuclear sites in Germany so that they're now completely screwed. That kind of thinking. It's like we're going to change everything. Everything's going to be new, and we're going to break through and be a whole new human being. The socialists like to believe that you can create a new man, a new woman, a new person that sees the world differently. And conservatives always said, no, we are human nature. You got to work with human
Mhm.
nature, and freedom is capitalism. Capitalism is freedom.
Right.
It's I worry about one other thing, which is a little bit obscure here, but I wonder how much, because you look at how less create, and I'm not bashing the younger generation. I'm sympathizing with it because I think it's a brilliant generation. I have 3 daughters, and they're brilliant and they work their butts off. But you see how much less creative stuff is happening because of technology, also because of the
Mm,
phones. So when people were bored, they were writing music, they were writing plays, they were writing poetry, they were writing books, they were
mm,
painting, they were doing stuff that was creative, they were inventing things, they were starting new companies, they were starting lemonade stands, they would do that. How many lemonade stands don't exist in America, or won't exist in America this summer because the kids home scrolling? I
mm.
bet it's thousands.
Yeah.
And it changes the very it changes the very habit structure of people. And I think there's a lot of factors going on there. One thing though, it's gonna the job that the jobs for young people are gonna pick up in a very big way, and that's gonna be their problem too. Because as we're having fewer children, and as we're aging out, and boomers like me are getting old and old, we're gonna go on Social Security and the rest of the stuff. Fewer and fewer people are gonna have to pay for it. There's not gonna be enough people to fill the jobs.
Mm.
That's gonna be the issue. Is they're gonna be working their butts off to pay for old people who saddled them with debt.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
And
terrifying.
that and
it's
that is
terrifying.
coming.
It should be terrifying. It
It
should be
it
terrifying,
it,
and it's
it is coming.
outrageous.
You're absolutely right. It is coming. I'm going to get Lauren's take, but I'm just going to say you're absolutely right. There is no way around that. It is coming. I mean, the
There's no
numbers
way
don't
around it.
lie. The numbers
Yep.
don't lie. So I 100% agree with you, Bill. Lauren, it's unemployment. How many of your friends are either underemployed? How many folks do you know that are struggling to find a job that they like that can help make ends
There's a
meet?
few. There's definitely a few. I have a couple friends that got laid off. One of them was able to find a job pretty soon. One of them took like about 6, 7 months, like of aggressively looking. And these are like, just basic business or management type majors. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, part of me does kind of want to like dig into the statistics and look at motivation a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just like not super economically like
Yeah.
I don't watch the
Can I
economy that much. Yeah,
can
go
I ask
ahead.
can I ask you a question, Lauren? Yeah. So
Yeah.
earlier today I saw a brief video. It was I can't even remember what it was. It was a Wall Street Journal piece, and they were interviewing somebody about similar topics. And he was talking about Gen X and Gen Z and millenniums and whatever. And he said, "How
Mhm.
many of you are Gen X in the room?" Yeah, people in the room. How many are Gen Z? Yeah. How many are Millennium? That type of thing. And then they said, "How many are Boomers?" And the crowd went boo. Like
Oh
I
wow.
don't like
the
that.
intended.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
a boomer by
I
a
read
year.
about
I
that.
was, I was
Yeah.
born. I was born in '63, and I've run into this before, where you say boomer and say, "Oh, boo! You're the people who completely destroyed the world." Is that
Mm,
something that you see out
Yes,
there?
and I don't. I totally disagree with it, and I think it's like
mm,
like it's like it goes into like the nihilistic like thing. I'm just like,
Yes.
okay, it makes no sense. First of all, it's not productive. Obviously, there's no solution there. But even if you think that way, I'm saying I totally disagree with it though, and I think it's just again like the victim stuff. And that's why I bring up the motivation. I think there is something not to like crap on them. I'm like millennial. I'm the
Yep.
youngest millennial, I
You
believe.
just
So I'm
right.
like
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Gen Z is like right next to me. So I mean, not to crap on them. I definitely think there's a lot going on with stuff you talk about, a lot of different factors. But I don't like the mindset. It's a different
mm.
mindset than I feel like my parents had, that I have, that my older sister has. Like, and I just don't know what to do. But I sympathize with it too, but I don't know. But
Mm.
the unemployment is bad. It's good to hear that you think jobs are going to go up. It's
Oh, there's
Yeah.
no question. There'll be too many jobs, and we'll have to, ironically, we'll have to jack up immigration a lot.
You, you,
Hopefully it's legal immigration. I have no problem with that. I'm bring them in, bring them in. I mean, I like a
Oh,
legal
the
system.
immigration thing though, the younger kids, they hate immigration. They think it's like the worst thing in the world and they want
mm.
none of it. And I'm like,
Interesting.
that's a huge
Interesting.
you didn't know
Why?
that?
Talk to me. No, talk to me.
Oh
I'd
my
love to hear
gosh,
about this. Yeah.
they hate it, and they think that like even legal immigrant, they
Of
want
all of
none
all
of it. They think
ethnicities, of all ethnicities.
all, yeah, it has nothing to do. Well, yeah, I don't think I've heard anything like, oh, let's take African people. No, they like want American people to be prioritized, but they
America
don't see
first.
it in the right way. Yeah, America
That's
First types, and they
messaging getting
and
through. Yeah.
the H-1Bs, they constantly rail about H-1Bs, and I'm like, you guys, it's like a heritage thing. They're like, we're losing our identity as, uh, they think Reagan was like, woke. It's not good down there. It's really not. They think he's like amnesty king or whatever. They're like amnesty doesn't work and Reagan. I was like, oh my gosh, it's really hard to like listen to these people.
Wow.
Listen to
Yeah.
them.
Does that have anything to do with the number? I may be totally wrong. Do you think that has anything to do with the number of foreign students in universities? Are people saying they're taking my place? They're
They're
doing,
really mad about that. Yeah.
yeah, yep,
But it's not like I don't know if it's a they're taking my place type of thing because like it's not like they're like yeah I really want to go to college but there's all these I think it's just like a nihilistic like everything
Mm,
sucks and the economy
yes,
is I can't get a home and so what it must be all these immigrants and you know what the current administration does not play well into that they're purposely
yes.
like scapegoating because they don't know what to do about the economy. It's I mean, but they play into that, like JD
Yeah.
Vance especially. So
I mean, it's so sad because what the young people will learn eventually, hopefully, is that they're the answer. It's always the young
yeah,
generation that's the answer, and the answer is
in a
definitely not
positive
an
way,
idea
right?
from the 18. It's from from Karl Marx in his mommy's bedroom who never worked a day in his life. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it is it's young people that have to invent and have to find a way to deal with a new world filled with expanding AI, with everything digitized, with industries collapsing and rising by the week.
Yeah, like the
It's
internet, you
just
guys dealt with that. There was like a
well,
whole
the internet changed.
disruption.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
internet came right in the middle of my career. I mean, literally, the internet came
mm.
in the
In the
I was in maybe
90s.
15 years in the 90s,
Yeah.
and I thought about it this morning. Just I think about it all the time. How much the internet changed everything.
Yeah.
It changed
And
everything,
there was some good and a lot
and
of
you're just
bad.
getting started. Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of good,
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
it
bad.
needs to
Yeah.
be a positive motivation. Like we're the answer, let's figure this out together rather than everything sucks, boomers suck,
Right. I mean, I think there's more ways to make money today than 10 years ago. And I think with
that's
AI,
true.
people will find that is
Mhm.
you could do things and make products and find new things, and you will find them. But I do worry a lot about the doom scrolling world and every variation of that that just sucks creativity out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just
Well,
like
you can be an
if
influencer, Bill. That's another way to make money. You got to be an
this could be it.
influencer.
That's what
Hey,
I'm
we're
doing
all
right here.
three influencer. That's what we're doing here right now, right?
Big time. Yeah.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, I'm going to jump
Uh,
onto another slide because I want to make sure that I've got time to get to the last one. I saved it
I'm
for
not sure I
last.
can bear it. I
I
can't
I
bear it.
know.
all right, so we're gonna do one before I hit you with the big one. Okay,
All right.
and we've pretty much kind of just talked about this, but recent college graduates, 22 to 27 years old, the current outlook is highly competitive or stagnant. And I'm reading quote for context quote for the first time on record, young college graduates face a higher aggregate unemployment rate than the general population. That surprised me. So you're going to college and you're getting your degree and you're $200,000 in debt and you're 22, 23, 24, 25, and you can't get a damn job.
Right.
And you can't just
I
get a regular job because you got to start paying
And
that
your
stuff
mom's
back.
saying, "When are you going to get married?"
Yeah, when are you going to get the hell out of the
Oh,
house, right?
yeah, please, mom. No,
Uh,
but see, this is why I just wonder because can't these companies pay cheap for these college grads? Like when I was in college and they had all these fairs, you were getting internships, they were like scouting. So
Yes.
I find it hard to believe that they can like, just really not find a job. Like, I don't
well,
know.
so
I mean,
I
I
did,
trust your statistics,
and
but
I didn't read the bottom part of it, but as the article continues, it says uh, new college grads are in general sending out hundreds of applications to get a job.
I have
Hundreds.
same.
nieces and nephews
Yeah.
who have had the damnedest time. But
Oh,
here's
really?
absolutely. But here's the thing: Americans are doing better than anybody else in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is not just here. Americans are doing the best. We have the strongest economy. We have the best outlook. We got the technology. We're killing it. Like compared to other nations, including China.
Mhm.
But we still have these problems.
Yeah.
And if you have a lot of young people that are not going to work and not building lives, you get danger. You end up with socialists. You end up with Antifa people who call themselves whatever they want to. You end up with people putting masks on themselves, smashing windows at Starbucks. That's what you end up with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out, we've got 5 minutes left because I'm really am going to push for this. So, one of the things that the article mentioned, one of the reasons they can't get jobs is because folks our age, Bill, aren't leaving, or your age are not
You got to get
retiring,
out.
We can't
because
we can't either. We can't
yeah,
either. We got too many
it's
bills.
because number one, you can't retire, or number two, what has happened is that you can work remote because you've already got the job experience. So you're not opening up a job and saying, to hell with this, I'm going to retire, or I'm
Interesting.
tired of going into the office. It's because you're remote. And that has collapsed a lot of the hiring because, in their view, you can't really train somebody remotely how to do something easily. So they'll pay more to keep the person they've got, or pay more to get somebody that's already got 3 or 5 years of experience than what they would for a new college graduate. That's an
Yeah, yeah.
interesting stat too. You know.
Also at that age, it's parents paying off college debt and other things. I mean, college debt is probably 10 times was it what it was 20, 25 years ago,
Hmm.
and it will keep you working 10 extra years to get through
Mhm.
it. I mean, it just on both ends it bites. I
Yeah.
mean, that said, we're living in the best time in history, so we got to keep that perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Economic, there are more people doing well economically worldwide than ever before. There's less starvation, there's less poverty, all that kind of stuff. But still, like the problems don't stop coming. The socialists always say, you do this and the world opens up and bright and comes out. And conservatives, of course, say life is life. You got to dig for it. You got to find your way.
Mm.
Listen to your elders. How did they do it? What's good advice? Work, work,
Mhm.
work, work, work. That's the stuff that always works. But it is getting harder for young people,
Yeah.
and something's got to give. Something's
Yeah,
got to
it
give.
does. Lauren, does that number shock you at all? How many of your friends that
Uh,
graduated from school can't find a job?
yeah. So I'm not, I don't really have any, although there are younger kids in my medical school that I guess, yeah, I don't really know that age group specifically that have like
Hmm.
been hard pressed to find a job, like 22, 23. I guess maybe that's probably why it's so shocking to me. I would think personally that companies would just be like, oh, I can get these cheap people.
Yeah, get them
That was the
cheap.
vibe
Yeah.
of,
That's what
yeah,
it used
like
to
I
be.
wasn't in auditing, obviously, but audit, tax, economics people, they were scouted. Like KPMG, Deloitte, all those big fours would scout Virginia Tech at least, and I think it was like that for a lot of colleges. So I guess maybe they're not doing that anymore. Maybe people are just shooting too high. Maybe people,
Shooting
I
too
don't
low.
know.
Also, shooting too
Or,
low. I
yeah,
think they're shooting
that
too
too.
low. For you, Lauren, I'm curious. When you decided to go to medical school, did you factor in where the world might be when you got out? Because you'll be secure because AI is not going
I
to
know
be. It has
it's
no
not touching
You
bedside
my
can't
manner.
industry.
replace a doctor. Yeah.
You can't replace a
Yeah,
doctor. So it's
maybe
like
one day, but like 20
it
years, yeah.
like. But these things are going to affect obviously they always do the career paths of people. You're in a great career path. I'm thrilled that you're in medical
I
school. I don't know how
I
you're doing it,
know.
but you
I
you
I
will
don't know.
have a
I've
you'll have a
always
career.
been like that.
God
Yeah,
willing, yeah,
I've
you'll have
always
a
been
career.
like that. And interestingly, it's getting harder because they cap the student loans at 200K, which that's not going to do it for medical school. I'm grandfathered in, thank goodness, but yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
don't
a
know how
bad
people are going to get
decision.
medical school.
That was a very bad
It's a sad
decision.
decision. These people that say they want to get rid of the DOE, I'm like, come on,
That's
you have no idea how much that would affect people. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is we did this to ourselves too, like the college costs. I mean, we just poured government money into universities that had no accountability whatsoever. They're
yeah,
their own
why do we do
fiefdoms.
that? I don't,
And they're still doing it, and they just added staff and all the diversity and all the crap and all the weird majors that have no real life I believe in the humanities, and learn English and reading and poetry, all that stuff is important, but they're creating such obscure degrees
Hmm.
with
yeah,
money that they should never have gotten. And
yeah.
so the price of college is just ridiculous.
It
I
is
think I
absurd.
what was I paying, 7,000 a year for it at NYU? 7,000, eleven
Oh,
thousand,
that's
maybe?
like oh my gosh, that's a
Right? I mean,
dream.
that's the difference. I mean, it's
Yeah.
stunning. And you could do the math, and you could apply the rate of inflation. It's not even
Oh yeah,
close.
mine's like 45K for tuition. So
Yeah.
there's some
Well,
perspective.
mine
I
was
just,
Oh,
mine
I've
was
I've got one
25 at
now.
Baylor.
It's 60 something. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
mine was
Yeah.
25 at Baylor with the full ride with taking I think over 18 courses a semester.
wow.
So And that was in the '90s, so mid '90s.
Yeah,
But you're
it's
right. It
yeah,
had the if
it's
you
nine
look
it's
at
90, 100 now. It's 90, 100
yeah,
Yeah,
now.
that's just my tuition. I
well,
got
it,
Yeah.
cost of living, all
yep,
the other fees.
Yes,
yep.
So
exactly.
it's
And,
Exactly.
nuts.
Yep.
I want to move on, but I'll just say that if you look at, and I saw this graph, and I should have grabbed it, but anyways, there's a graph that shows you how much inflation has cost, increased the cost of living, and they show you overlaid with the cost of college, and the cost of college has gone up vastly more than inflation every single year. So,
It's not good.
yeah, so that's it. All right, so here's the slide. All right, here's the slide.
I'm
I wanted
scared.
to show
Lauren's just
you.
gonna
Okay,
Lauren's gonna
I'm
take off
so
the headset and
excited.
walk away.
Oh, I just
I know.
I wish TJ could see this too because his face would have been wonderful. All right, here's the slide. You ready? Almost 1 in 10 Mamdani voters were also Trump voters. 60,000 60,000 voters for Mamdani also voted for
Wait,
Donald Trump. Now
I love
digest
this.
that one. Digest that one, Bill. Digest that one, Lauren.
I have something to say because
Say
I
it.
didn't
I'm
know this,
speechless.
but I have friends. I have two friends that are this category. They are. Well, they didn't vote for Mamdani, okay, but they are very conservative. They voted for Trump 3 times, and they were like, we're just gonna not vote. We're just gonna sit out and benefit from these, policies because it's like $20,000 if we want to move our apartment. And I was like, what? In New York, they have to like get a broker and all this stuff, like pay this huge security deposit. So they were like, nah, maybe we'll benefit from his policies. They were not at all alarmed. Just nah, like they didn't go as far to vote for him, but it's shocking to me because these are like very, very staunch, like very conservative people, not just like the average
Mm-hmm.
Trump voter. So I found that shocking, and they said that their other friends are the same way.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that's really
you had
insane.
it's amazing what free stuff does to people's brains. Like New York City has had rent control since 1947 and stabilization since like 70 or 72, and it's artificial markets for the housing. And you had a million and a half units, whatever it is, maybe up to 2 million. I'm a little stale on the numbers, but you had otherwise perfectly rational people and even Republicans people who convince themselves that that is their God honest right to a cheap apartment when the guy next to them is paying 7 times as much.
Mm,
You got a three bedroom for you have 3 bedroom for a couple thousand, and there's a 1 bedroom next to it for 6,500. Like
mm.
that it's an artificial market in New York, so there's always
Yeah.
winners and losers. So they're not the first ones to realize that. Like when you get that,
Yeah.
but what that does to the overall city over decades is destroy it, and that's what's
People
happened with New
go,
York.
right? The people that own
It,
these places, they move.
and the companies
Yeah.
go and the companies
Mm.
Yeah.
go and like they're not letting the landlords hike any rents now despite like major costs to the landlords, so the properties start to deteriorate. People say screw this, I'm going to Connecticut, I'm going to Florida, Miami, Texas.
Mhm.
That's what we're doing. That's what's going on in New York right now. And
Well,
you have those big Wall Street firms that are one by one, like they've been in New York for 150 years, then they open the satellite in Houston, then it's a little bigger in Houston, then they move to Miami, the entire operation.
mm.
That's what's going
Oh
on in New York.
man.
But you're not your friends like it's actually not that unusual because the winners, the free bus or the free supermarket, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
they didn't
is
even mention that. It's just I think it's just the price of rent. And I think they were saying their landlord is just like a total jerk and like, they don't like it. So they're like, well, whatever. I think it was also probably not possible for the Republican to win. Like it was obviously the writing was on the wall or
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that's to actually go out and vote for him and voting for Trump. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. Again, it's populism though. He's not a conservative.
No, he's not.
He
Exactly.
says whatever.
But
Yeah.
I had a dear friend and former business partner whose mother was a big she was a Green Party person,
Oof.
and then a Bernie Sanders person, and then went Bernie Sanders to hardline Trump like right
I
away.
know
And
people
Well,
like
I
that.
was like,
Oh my
yeah, it's a
God.
lot of them, and it just I guess
Those are
it's
the people
it's
I can't identify with at all, by the way. I'm like, I don't understand them on any level. Because, like,
yeah.
Bernie, and then, oh, what? It's so
well,
weird.
so this has been a great discussion, guys. We got to shut it down because our next show is going to be starting soon. But
No,
some
this was
shocking
fun.
stats. This was a lot of fun. This was a fun discussion.
Fun
And like I
conversation.
said, I sucked the air out of I was going to say the room, the boat, on a couple of those, especially that last one. That 1 in 10 Mamdani voters voted for Trump, and I'm just going, are you kidding me? Right now,
you gotta
TJ's
tell
listening
TJ.
to us, and he just steered his car right off into a ditch right now.
I want him to answer what he thinks. Why?
Oh, he'll tell you. He'll tell you all right.
All right, everybody.
My
If
brother
you're
TJ.
watching this, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're watching it right now, you're watching it on YouTube. Go to the No Bull Media Group. It's No Bull Media Group. Please subscribe. Give us a like. You know, if you've got some questions, drop some questions. We'll read them out on air. But you'll get this. You're going to get Restoring the American Dream, which is going to start up in about another 20 minutes. And we've got a lot of other programs. We've got a Hinge of History. We just got a lot of stuff that's launching here. Not everything's political, but you do see that even on this one, which is supposed to be political, we do get to have some fun sometimes. So
I like this format better. I
yeah.
like this better. Topics. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for joining us for Thursday Thoughts. Lauren, Bill, thanks for joining. It's been a lot of fun. This one was fun. So
Yeah.
Thanks,
all
everybody.
right. All right, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks so
Good
much.
night, Lauren.
See you next time. The No Bull Political Arena is on all major social media platforms. Make sure to give us and your host a follow.
Hey everybody, this is Sophia Nelson. Follow me at I am Sophia Nelson on every one of my social media platforms.
I'm Bill O'Reilly, and you can reach me at Twitter at WFBOR.
Hey, this is TJ. Follow me on X or Twitter at TJ McCormack.
This is Brian Mistro, and you can follow me on X at Brian_Mistro or follow along on Facebook at Brian.Mistro.